In the headlines, Ondo government cancels June 12 celebrations over Owo attack. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike orders trial of Amechi Tonyeko. Ex-PDP governors pledge support for presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. And on the foreign scene, landmine explosion kills 5 civilians in Syria. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. The Ondo State government has cancelled this year's June 12 celebrations in the state following the attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo. Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State said this in a tweet on his official handle on Saturday. Earlier, the governor had faulted the federal government for blaming the attack on the Islamic State for West Africa province, ISWAP, saying the move was hasty. Statement from the governor's media aide, Richard Olatunde, quoted the governor as saying that the terrorist group could have taken responsibility for the attack if it was behind it. Governor Akeredolu maintained the attack, which left scores dead and many others injured, further heightens the need for state police. And President Muhammadu Buhari has called for unity among Nigerians, irrespective of party, religious or tribal affiliations, as the country prepares for the 2023 general elections. The president, who was represented by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Muhammad Bello, made the call at the 23rd Democracy Day public lecture in Abuja. The theme of the event is democratic governance in a multi-religious society. The report.
The president expressed delight that his administration institutionalized June 12 as Nigeria's Democracy Day, hitherto marked on May 29. According to him, Nigerians must work to ensure that the 2023 elections, already underway and will culminate in a new government, is based on justice, the rule of law, and the fear of God.
Democracy as a system government based on unity, based on justice, based on commitment, and based on patriotism of all Nigerians is something that all of us are striving for, and is what the government of President Muhammadu Buhari is striving for.
Guest speaker at the event, Muhammad Lemu, who urged Nigerians to be more involved in politics and leadership, also advised Nigerians to cast their votes with justice in mind. Lemu, who is the Director of Research and Training, Dawa Institute, Islamic Education Trust Fund in Niger State, said it was imperative for people to promote what is right for the country and stand for justice at all times.
Let us encourage people to be more engaged, more involved in politics and leadership. Let us start by getting our voter registration card. Get your card, and when the time comes, vote with justice in mind. Let us educate more of our people so that whatever barrier is between them and supporting good governance, we will overcome those.
The year 2022 marks 23 years from 1999 to 2022 of uninterrupted democratic governance in our country, despite the numerous challenges that we face. It is a period long enough for us to develop, imbibe, and practice good governance in our multi-ethnic and multi-religious society.
Earlier in his remarks, the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, represented by the Esu Nupe Yahya Abubakar, stressed the need for unity and tolerance among all citizens as enjoined by the various religions.
I want to pray fervently for our founding fathers of politics in Nigeria, who fought very gallantly with commitment and passion for self-rule, for achieving independence, and from there we established our system of governance, from parliamentary to the presidential. We pray Almighty Allah to grant their souls excellent rest. Amen. They've did their job, they've done their job. As for us now, it's continue. Where they handed over to us, and we must ensure.
The public lecture was followed by a special Jumaat prayer in the National Mosque, Abuja.
The National Union of Road Transport Workers, Imo State Chapter, in partnership with West Africa Network on Small Arms, has organized a roadshow and one-day public lecture against gun violence and light weapons in Owerri. The road transport workers who marched from Government House roundabout to the IIC in Owerri said the rally is in commemoration of a one-week action against gun violence and the need to curb circulation of small arms and light weapons among the members of the public. The state chairman of the National Union of Road Transport Workers in Imo State, Comrade Samuel Ude, called on government to intensify efforts to stop circulation of small arms and light weapons among unauthorized members of the public. The Wansa representative says the team is in Owerri to preach against gun violence due to activities of unknown gunmen in the state.
To inform them that it's only the security agencies that are in position to carry arms. Every other person that is carrying arm is carrying it illegally.
They have their numbers. What we're going to do is to integrate them, share information. They are a source of intelligence, and sometimes they go beyond where security agencies cannot go, and we can work together to make Nigeria a peaceful society. This is the beginning of mobilizing Nigerians towards peace, especially this time election is around the corner.
We have had enough gun violence, especially in Imo State, and we are saying no to it. We are preaching against gun violence, and we are preaching against the proliferation of small arms and light weapons. Gun violence is a menace to the society.
Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Sidi Tunis, has tasked members of the regional parliament on actionable solutions to ending the insecurity, bad governance and other challenges confronting the sub-region. Tunis, who made the call at the opening of the 2022 First Ordinary Session of the Parliament in Abuja, stressed that there must be change from just talk shops to actions. The Speaker lamented the spate of insecurity and political instability in member countries, noting that citizens are counting on parliamentarians and people in authority for solutions. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Brou, commended the members of the Parliament working tirelessly during several of its sessions to discuss burning issues confronting the sub-region for possible solutions.
As you are aware, our parliamentary sessions provide us with the opportunity to discuss wide-ranging topical issues of the community and render opinion on the number of referrals that have been presented to us. The Supplementary Act provides that we shall reflect our views on issues of the community by opinion or mandatory assent. The onus is therefore upon us to support policies that address these day-to-day issues. It has become evident that our people are much more concerned with the decisions we make and the ripple-down effects they have on them. Each time I travel across the region, I am confronted with the hard questions. What is ECOWAS doing about food shortages? What is ECOWAS doing about rising prices of food and energy? What is ECOWAS doing about poverty eradication, amongst others? These are the questions we must address, not only with policy formulations and conferences, but with actionable solutions that are indisputable. As we do our work over the next few days, I pray we'll place much more emphasis on practical results. We cannot afford to fail our people. On a sad note, terrorism, kidnapping, and banditry continue to cause major setbacks for security in the sub-region. In Burkina Faso, Mali, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the situation has worsened. We condemn the recent attack on the Kaduna International Airport and the Abuja-Kaduna train that led to the loss of innocent lives and injuring too many others.
Plateau State Police on Saturday confirmed the killing of one person along Maraban Jama'a Riom Road in Riom local government area of the state. DSP Alabu Alfred, spokesman of the command, while confirming the incident, debunked the reports that government science school Kuru Jos was on Friday night attacked by terrorists. Reports had said the attack took place at Emi Filling Station, directly opposite the Assemblies of God Church, close to the school, at about 10:45 p.m. But the police said they received information that some unknown hoodlums were firing along Maraban Jama'a Riom Road, not Science School Kuru Jos, as was reported by a section of the media, not Trust TV. DSP Alfred, however, said the State Commissioner for Police, Bartholomew N. Onyeka, had advised members of the public to go about their lawful business, as normalcy had already been restored in the area, assuring that his men are on ground to contain any further disruption of peace. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has directed the Attorney General of the state and Commissioner for Justice to write to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over harassment of State People's Democratic Party PDP governorship candidate Siminalayi Fubara. The report.
Governor Wike gave the directive at the Executive Chamber of Government House, Port Harcourt, after swearing in 3 new commissioners. He maintained that the attempt to harass the state PDP candidate will not be accepted, as the state government will not hesitate to charge the EFCC for contempt.
Let me also say that you use this opportunity to write a strong protest letter to the chairman of EFCC that we are not in the era of impunity. There's a period of obeying the rule of law. The attempt to harass by Governor General will not be accepted by this government. If not, we will charge them for contempt. Apart from that, the Counter General has another judgment against EFCC to enforce its fundamental right.
Governor Wike further directed the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to commence the prosecution of the illegal financial dealings of the former River State Governor Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, Tonye Cole, Sahara Energy and others over the sale of state assets.
Luckily, you came in at that time when we have 5 preferred charges. We have preferred criminal charges against the former governor, Sahara, Tonye Cole and the rest of them. We have preferred criminal charges at the State High Court. So you are coming at the right time to take over the matter, to make sure it is prosecuted diligently. I don't want to hear excuses. Diligently. Let the people see what happened with our money, how $50 million from our account moved a company without nothing to show whether there was business, whether there was this and that. $50 million. And I want to commend all of you that you have shown commitment, you've shown hard work, you've shown loyalty. And for me, that's the only way to pay back the people who have shown, in spite of all odds, they are still there with you.
Governor Wike informed that he will be careful in constituting a cabinet, noting that at the twilight of his administration, only people with undivided loyalty are needed to ensure a good ending.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still to come on the news, how Nigeria records 3,500 leprosy cases. This and more after the break. Do stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Ondo government cancels June 12 celebrations over Owo attack. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike orders trial of Amechi Tonyi Cole. And in other news, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo on Friday said he remains committed to the dream of a new Nigeria, despite losing the All Progressives Congress presidential ticket to Bola Tinubu. He made the remark while speaking in Abuja at the campaign office of the Progressive Project, TPP, a coalition of support groups that backed the Vice President for the presidency. The Vice President also stated that he will support the winner and flag bearer of the APC for the 2023 presidential elections, Bola Tinubu. Osinbajo was received by a large crowd at the TPP office in Abuja. A statement signed by presidential spokesperson Laolu Akandi said,
"When we participate in a contest and the results are announced, no matter what those results may be, we abide by them. Because there's only one process for Democrats. There's only one process. Whether that process is good or bad, there's only one process. And we have gone through that process. And in that process, a winner has been adjudged. Yes. But that does not kill the dream of a great future. We will support our party. We will support the flag bearer of our party, because we know that the other party, the other side, is not even worth considering. But we will support the party. We will support the flag bearer. We will do everything we can. But we must have at the back of our minds and in front and center of our thoughts that this, what you have started, what all of you have started in the various movements coming into one, is the seed that will birth a new country.
Meanwhile, ex-governors of the People's Democratic Party have pledged their support to the party's 2023 presidential flag bearer, Atiku Abubakar. The ex-governors made the pledge during a meeting with Atiku in Abuja. Led by former Niger State Governor Babangida Aliyu, the governors also asked Atiku to clear the air on where he intends to pick his running mate from. Although Atiku did not directly answer the question, he asked the ex-governors to work towards the party's success.
Our loyalty and our readiness to work for the success of PDP, for the success of Atiku Abubakar as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Somebody said to me, can you confirm what Waziri Adamawa meant? Because yesterday he said his vice president will come from the governors, but he didn't say former governors or current governors. So I believe in your response you will clarify further.
If we can all put our energies in our respective states, local governments, and even polling units, nothing should stop us from making sure that we return our party to power. Because there is no single political party that has got the kind of resource persons like we have got today. Let's put behind whatever political disagreements that have occurred between the contestants or between which side you supported and which side you did not support. This is my appeal to all of you.
Now, no fewer than 3,500 leprosy cases are recorded in Nigeria annually. Consultant pulmonologist and chairperson, Medical Advisory Committee of the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Training Center, Zaria, Dr. Eunice Chutumu Jia, disclosed this while conducting Trust TV round the facility. The report.
The National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Training Center, Zaria, was established in 1991 and saddled with three basic mandates of patient care, training, and research on TB and leprosy. However, in recent time, the mandate has been extended to cover for HIV/AIDS. The center, which has been negatively impacted by the high rates of insecurity in recent time, has however continued to serve as the only facility that houses and caters for leprosy patients in the north-central geopolitical zone of the country. Speaking to Trust TV in Zaria, Dr. Gia said, leprosy, which is caused by a bacterium, is mostly contaminated through inhalation of droplets and mainly affects the skin.
It is a chronic infection. It is caused by Mycobacterium leprae bacilli, and the means of it being gotten is by inhalation of the droplets from an infected individual. So by and large, the fact that leprosy is in an individual, it doesn't manifest till after at least 20 years. That's what we call like the incubation period of that infection.
According to her, despite efforts by the federal government and some donor partners, the prevalence of the disease stood at 3,500 in Nigeria annually, noting, however, that the center alone attends to at least 5 leprosy patients per day. The senior consultant said the facility still offers services to patients, contrary to reports that insecurity has forced the center to shut down. She, however, confirmed that they no longer retain inpatients in their medical facility due to the fear of the unknown, noting, however, that outpatients have continued to receive medication in the relevant units of the hospital.
Just as I said, before the COVID era, it had been outpatient and inpatient. Okay. And then with the advent of the insecurity around us, it had kind of been limited to more outpatients, or else I would have said, okay, we'll go and see some on bed. But the truth is that they come, and just as I said, it doesn't stop them from coming. They are familiar, because it's just that when they are so used to a particular treatment center, it is difficult to say, I want to go somewhere else. So they come. If it is wound care, they are rehabilitated, and for those that other complications have set in, we try to find out and rehabilitate and advise correctly.
Meanwhile, when Trust TV went round the medical facility, it was discovered that all hostels that accommodated patients were empty, as they have been officially discharged due to insecurity in the area. Recall that some few months back, bandits invaded the facility, kidnapped about 9 staff.
Urbanization has been one of the critical factors that have led to rising cost of living in the country. Despite statistics rolled out by government agencies to suggest improving economic conditions, many Nigerians are struggling to cope. Chamun Dabeng reports.
Citizens have migrated to big cities in search of greener pastures or as an escape from insecurity. But they are confronted by astronomical costs of feeding, transportation and rent, which they cannot afford.
Per se, Federal Capital Territory, I think things are going higher. Like right now, we know the way things are going in Nigeria right now, so we are not ignorant of that fact. But cost of living in Abuja is quite high. Except you're on a very high side of income, it's going to be a little more cumbersome for a common man.
Look at how much is being paid to a worker as a civil servant. Compare with what we buy in the market. You cannot. There's nothing to write home about. That's what I'm saying. Imagine somebody that's been paid 70,000 a month. Talk about transportation, take up about accommodation, take about the food you buy. You see, there's nothing to write home about, so to speak. So government should do something about it so that things will be well and go well with the people.
At least we're trying from hand to mouth, because I've not really saved since I moved into Abuja. Just trying to stock my stomach first before any other thing. Everything should go back to normal, how we used to be before, on low prices, because things are really high and it keeps getting high every day.
The high price of commodities, rent, coupled with low wages and unemployment, have made things much more difficult for families.
Actually, it's not easy, especially as a widow. In a widowhood where I am right now, it's not easy for me, but I'm trying my best. The little I got, we eat it like that. We manage ourselves, and I tell my children that you don't need to be taking tea or bread, whatever we see, rice, anything, we manage it like that. I cannot kill myself, I've tried. So, but that is just what I have to say. The country, they should just look at what the masses are crying for, so that the crime will still reduce.
As more people move to big cities, what will the effects be? Economist Dr. Emeka Okengu speaks on the matter and also speaks on the issue of high cost of rent.
What are the consequences? Okay, overstressed infrastructure, of course, you know. All right, the infrastructure is stretched to its breaking points. All right, and again, the flip side of overstretched infrastructure is that those who are now able to give social services now begin to now also look at demand, okay, as a primary consideration in fixing prices. So what you now have is a mess. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense that in a country that's just come out of recession, come out of COVID, you know, people are telling you to pay millions and billions to live in a house that's not maintained, that has nothing. It just does not make sense.
Nigerians are calling out to the government to provide some succor to their difficult situations. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now look at the foreign scene, where 5 civilians have been reported dead and at least 30 others injured on Saturday after their vehicle hit a landmine in southern Syria. According to the state news agency, the victims were wheat harvest laborers at the site of the blast, which took place in the countryside of the southern province of Daraa. Meanwhile, an official at the local hospital told Dutch press Agenter that 8 people had been killed and 42 others were wounded in the blast. Most victims were women, according to residents. And quickly before we go, here is a kicker. Baldwin Mazango is an example of a new, young generation of farmers leading a silent revolution in the continent's vast farmlands. Now he wants to encourage other young Africans to do the same. Let's take a look.
Started off doing commercial agriculture in 2004. Then I went and started to do commercial agriculture at Blackford College of Agriculture. That's when I started to do full-time commercial farming here at the farm. So as what we are doing right now is where we are doing seed potatoes. We are contracted by the Tobacco Research Board. The variety that we grow here is called Diamond. It is used for your manufacturing of potato crisps, and at the same time it is for your fresh market. The future of this industry lies in the hands of the youths. Because as you can see in our population demographics, the youths make up 60% of the total population as we stand right now. So the only way that we can succeed in this industry and also give guarantee to land reform is when we have young guys participating in this industry. And this industry comes in many facets. It's not only direct farming as we are doing here, but there is also value addition. There is also transport, there is also logistics, there is also input distribution, and there is also technology.
And that is how we wrap up Trust TV News Update for this hour. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.